name's Vince from mymatevince.com, and in this video today we're going to try to fix up this eBay junk here. So these things were all bought from eBay and they were all down as faulty. So we've got this car here from the late 1970s. Apparently this doesn't work at all. We've got this Tomy game here, which something doesn't spin, and we've got this little dog here which doesn't bark. Interestingly, this was down as vintage, and if you look at the box it does look vintage, but check this out here, 2002. It's not vintage at all, it's just made to look old. So let's get this over to the blue mat and let's see what we can fix out of the three of them. So let's start with this Tomy game here. I presume that means it's probably quite frustrating until you get to the bottom bit that says few. So if you have a look here, you've got balls, you release them, and then when you hit this, it knocks these little knockers up, and then they you have to work your way to the very bottom. So it takes a C-size battery. Yeah, you can see that's spinning, that's spinning, that's spinning, but that's not spinning. Well, it spins a little bit when I whack it. So the balls go up here and then you release them. Oh. Okay, so that's not working either. Right, well, oh, and that's spinning round, so you're on a timer. Oh, right, okay, so you've got to get the balls down to few by the time this goes back to the stop there. Perfect. Let's take it apart and see if we can work out why that is not spinning up there. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws at the bottom here. And this video today is sponsored by... That's a little keyboard fix I did a couple of months ago. No other than the My Mate Vince Massive. And this month it consists of Satellite Cinema, Robert Hughes, Operational 117, KitDigital.com, Kip Hakes, Max Rokotansky, Jaw Media, and Mr. Directory. So we now have 8 members, which is just absolutely crazy. So, massive thanks to all the patrons that support these videos. Let's get on with dismantling this game. Right, so that comes off there. That comes off. Looks like we've got 5 balls. Now, how do you take this off here? Right, I can see another little screw here and another little screw here as well. And 3 screws here. Actually, that's the motor there, isn't it? So we might not need to, that looks like it's separate, we might not need to undo those ones. That's the push button. Gives me an opportunity to clean it as well, because it didn't really push very nice. Right, here we go. Right, so we've got a spring here for the release button off the balls. And all of these go right the way through to here. Right, so what have we got going on? Let's zoom in and see if we can work out what's what. So the power comes from the motor there and it goes down to here. When this turns, it's going to turn these ones here, this one here, and this one here. So they're just constantly turning. And they're working. But this one's not working. Oh, okay, so we're just on, that's just a little gear there, and we're on this here, which is jammed. Tell you what, let's put a battery in and see if we can see what's happening. Ooh, something just fell out. Right, that just fell out of it. Bit of yellow plastic. Oh, that's up here. Oh, in fact, look at that, it's been crushed. It's working, but that wire's been crushed there. Right, so that's just broken there. That's no big deal. Okay, let's turn it on. Right, so we've got a spring down here. So when we do that, okay, so that's how the button presses work. That's just moving it up there. Ah, hold on now. See, that's turning that, so the motor feeds this one here, but it also feeds this one here, which isn't doing anything, but it does do something when I push this up. But then it just goes back down again. Yeah, I think I know the problem. So if you have a look here, can you see we've got a spring between this white bit of plastic and here, so we can do the button presses, you know, to move the ball along by hitting this button here. Now look here, we've got a white bit here, haven't we? But there's no spring, but can you have a look here? It looks like it's, unless that's that bit of plastic here. No, it's not, that's definitely from up there. Oh, we've got another, hold on a minute, we've got another bit of plastic, 1 second. Is that, that's both from up here though, isn't it? There, and that's the other bit, yeah. Can you see there should be, I can just see here, there should be a little post sticking up there, the same as here. And there should be another spring similar to this, going from here to here. And what that would do is, it will have it always like that, until you see this gear, see the way the gear is shaped, it's like at a slope. So when this is rotating, it's going to force this whole thing down, and then the spring's going to put it back up when it gets to this empty bit here. So watch this now. When I turn it, I'm going to use my thumb as the spring. So down and then back, down and back. And can you see that's now working? Back. And also I presume, what else is it going to be doing? Probably going to be moving these bits as well, because these all have posts sticking down, and stuff like this is moving up. Oh, and this moves up as well, can you see, because it's on a ramp here. So when it's up there, look, down and then up. Yeah, so that operates it all there. So now I need to find if I've got a spring or something to work that. You know what? I don't think I'm going to have any springs. I'm wondering, would a little O-ring or an elastic band or something do instead? Just needs to be able to force it back up. Let me have a think, see what I've got. This is what I'm thinking. I haven't got any springs, but I'm wondering if an O-ring would do between this post here, underneath this axle here, going right the way to here, so bending round there and going along. But I need to partially strip it down in order to be able to do that. But that's good, because this isn't working very nice anyway, and I think it's just a build-up of maybe a little bit of dirt down in this area. So I'm going to take it apart and give it a good clean while I'm doing this here. Now I'm tempted to put a bit of grease in, but then I'm thinking that with this here it needs to be really free, and I'm thinking with the grease it might just clog up with dust and then stop it from working. So I'm just going to clean it and not put any grease anywhere. Now with these rotate constantly, so it doesn't really matter which direction they're put on, but if I do get it working, this is going to be critical to how it goes back on. So obviously if we were to do it this way, it's only going to be moving up this small amount, you see, that much there, so it's not going to work. So I might have to watch a video or an advert on this originally to find the location where this should be. Well, if anybody's curious, that's what the inside looks like there. So this is the little worm wheel for the timer. Worm wheel to feed this one going down there, and that goes straight through there. So luckily the gears look to be okay. Now I'm just getting rid of all the dirt from all the bits that the plastic slides against the plastic. Right, before we put any more back together, let's see if this is going to be too thick to go around here. Might be a bit strong, this O-ring. Okay, so that's it there. Let's pop the battery back in. Oh yeah, look at that. It's really strong. It might be too strong, but it's certainly doing what it needs to do. Remember, it's going to be held into place. Excellent. Right, let's put it all back together and give it a good clean as we put it back together. So I found a nice clear picture online and I can clearly see the orientation of all the bits. So I'm going to copy them exactly on all of them, even these three here. And then hopefully it will work okay. I've just removed the rip sticker here with some IPA. Also, this is all misshapen up here, so I'm going to peel this back and I'm going to apply new double-sided sticky tape to it. So here we have it all finished, all nice and clean, and I've had about 15 goes. I haven't completed it yet, it's a hard thing to do. But yeah, I've got a feeling when you eventually do it, it would be quite satisfying. But I can fully see why it's called ah, because that's the exact sound you make when you keep messing with the balls. So let's get them all up to the start here. Now what happens is this timer automatically stops. So you start here, it keeps going round and round and round and round and round until you're about here. And then you will see now in a few seconds it will stop. So obviously objective is to get from here to here using timing. So let's zoom in a little bit and let's show you now it working. Now let's start it off. Release one of the balls. The furthest I've got is to this disc down here. Now remember, I've had quite a few goes already. Uh-oh. Oh! That's my favourite bit, that bit there. Like that. Oh, come on, last one. I'm feeling lucky. Oh, come on now, this bit here. Oh, I still can't do that bit. Right, okay. Anyway, it's working, it's fixed. Let's turn that off there. Yes!
No way!
Go on, go on!
Number 1.
Next up is the original Doggy Pal. Now, this one here doesn't bark, but yet it wags, moves its head and walks forward. Here it goes. I presume that noise there is probably when it's supposed to bark. That one. His tail's really going for it, or her tail. Now let's take this apart. Now with this one here, things like this are not designed to be taken apart. So I don't really want to get involved with a load of stitching. So I think I'm going to just try to remove this fur here from material from this bit here, and hopefully it will give me, I'm not too sure, maybe it will give me access to something. Oh, oh. Oh, okay, that's the bark. Yeah, do you know, it's probably going to be some plastic gear in here which is no longer working. We just held in with glue anyway. Oh yeah, it's starting to come apart now. There we go. Oh yeah, right. Actually, do you know what? It came apart easier than I thought it would do. Maybe the head's going to be a nightmare. I wonder whether, maybe I don't have to get to the head. Maybe I should just undo it from here. Undo these screws here and see what happens. There was a load of gears here. Now, how am I going to do this without it all falling apart? Now, was that supposed to break there, or is that the problem? Okay. Well, to be fair, it's made better than I thought it would be. So that goes in there like so. So this must be... Oh, I think this is it here, and this moves the head back, which must, when it moves the head back, would the lip stay where it is, the bottom jaw stay where it is, the bottom part of the mouth, and maybe that's what makes the noise. Look, we have one on the other side as well. Let's take the head off completely. Right, so this is joined to something in there. Let's see if I can unhook that. I wonder, can I take this side off? Yeah, let me take this side off and that might then unhook it. There we go. Right, so we've got something here and something the other side. So let's put some batteries back in it and let's see what is actually going on with it. We might be able to work out why it's not working. Whoa, there's so much happening. Can't quite get my head around what's going on. Something to do with this one here. Yeah, sometimes it goes crazy and sometimes it doesn't work at all, this one. Right, let's turn it off a minute. Right, that gets kicked up into place. I've seen that going round pretty strongly. Why is it not working all the time? And why is it at an angle? Yeah, so it's fixed on that side, but yet on this side it's allowed to move up and down. Oh, it's cracked. There you go. So you see that gear there? That gear's got a big crack in it. Yeah, that's the problem. So I suppose that's spinning, but this probably isn't spinning with it. Let's turn it back on. Oh, so it kicks up. Yeah, well, to be fair, it's working there. Yeah, I reckon that's the thing that makes it bark. But look, because of the split in the gear, I suppose any bit of resistance, and it probably doesn't turn. There we go. Yeah, you can see. Let me see if I've got any spare gears. Now, out of all these gears, I found one which is, it's not the same, but it's similar. It's got the same amount of teeth around it, but you can see it's far too wide. So I'm going to use some sandpaper and scrape it back. I've already made the hole bigger on the middle, the same as that one. So you never know, it might work. Now I've sanded that back to the same size as that now, but obviously I'm missing this collar here, so I don't know whether that's going to make a difference or not. I'm going to put it in and see what it does. So have a look now. I've put the new gear just in here. I haven't put this little cross member support back in yet, but now when I turn it on, this does consistently move when it comes to the barking of the thing. So you'll see the tail wagging, it walking, head shaking, and then it will do that for however many seconds, 20 seconds or something, and then it will stop and it will start doing this one here. So watch this. So that's walking, wagging, and there. And now can you see this is going here? Look, ready? Now, look at that. And it's really going for it. There's a lot of power in that. There. So I think let's put it back together and let's see if it's going to make any difference. Right, it's not back together yet, just the main body of it is. Let's see if it's doing anything now. So he still shakes his head, tail still goes, he's still walking. Oh, there you go. He's doing it. Fantastic. Right, let's get him back together. Now something like this I would never ever sell because obviously it's going to be a child's toy, a young child's toy, and the way I've done it now it's never going to go back together as good as it did from the factory. It's just purely to the fun of seeing the inside of it, see how it works, and also to see if it is repairable. Now because the fur gets tucked underneath this into the body, you can see right the way in there, it is actually going in, I think, pretty much as good as it was originally. Right, there she is, back together, and it's gone back together really, really, really well. Look at that. Really powerful now. Right, let's change camera angle and get it walking across the floor. Here we go, the fake 1950s doggy pal. Let's go. Well, I don't think anybody can argue with that. It certainly has got its bark back. Right, let's move on to the next one. And now we're on to this one here, which looks like the thing I would have liked the most when I was young. So I've already had a look in the back of here. I haven't taken it apart, but I can see straight away that we've got a broken wire. Date-wise, it looks to be, it says 1978. I think I remember reading that it was from 1979 that this was released. But I haven't watched any videos or anything about it. But I think I did read that it was infrared that it works on. So not really radio controlled. Anyway, you can see straight away here that the 9-volt battery connector here is broken. So the live wire is still on it, but the little black wire here has come off here. So let's tin it up here, solder it on here. We've got a tiny little bit of corrosion just on that contact there. That's not going to take long to clean off. It might be as simple as that. Let's tin it up. I wonder, could I just melt it like that? Oh, look at that. I'm happy with that. Now, could it be as simple as that? Let's just put some batteries in it and let's see if it's gonna work after all these years. So we need a 9-volt here, make sure that's off. We need 4 AA batteries. And this one. Look at the brown board, and I can smell it from here. The old smell of electronics. This is another 9-volt. Oh, that goes that way. Okay, let's see if it's going to do anything. So turn it, well, it's already on here. On here, is it going to work? Oh, yes it is. Stop. Forward. What does this do? Would that be to adjust the speed, maybe? Oh, and it turns like that. Ah, okay. Right, so it's obviously you haven't got the same control over a remote control car. You can only do one thing at a time. But it's, I suppose it does work. We'll put it on the ground and see. But look, so I can go forward, and look, I can go back. I don't have to press stop all the time. So as you can see from that little bit of footage there, it does work, but you need quite an open space to play it because it's not very responsive, probably because it's using IR rather than remote control or radio control. But it does what it needs to do, and you can definitely hear the motor pick up speed when you hit this positive button here when you're going in a straight line. Do I think it would really get any use? No, not nowadays, but you need to remember it's 41 years old, and you've got to admit, it does look good. And back then, it would have been pretty special to have something that was wireless working 41 years ago. So yeah, I think it's nice. I think it's a novel idea. So that is it for this video. What a successful little trio of fixes. How long they're going to last, I'm not too sure. I think that rubber O-ring should last a good amount of time. This was soldered, that's not going to go wrong. This little doggy here probably won't last very long, but it's nice to hear her bark again. I think out of all of them, this here was the most interesting, the Tomy game, and also I think the most fun to play as well. But they're all interesting in their own right. So yeah, that is it. If you did get any enjoyment, please give it a thumbs up, and if you like stuff like this, let me know, and maybe subscribe if you haven't already. Look after yourselves. See you soon. Bye now.